So, Dr. Ulrich, how did the Smoky Mountain Brass Quintet start?
It started in 1992 or 1993. We can't remember exactly, but we had a really good brass faculty, and we were playing in lots of different orchestras as individuals, and there wasn't a whole lot going on here in 1992 or 93, so we thought it'd be kind of cool to have a performing group on campus. We were all playing church gigs and Easter gigs and Christmas gigs and things as brass groups, but we wanted to play more serious concert music as well, and that's why we started the group.
Okay. How many of the original members are actually still in the quintet today?
There are only two, myself and the other trumpet player, David Ginn. And David is an alumni from Western Carolina University. He got a degree in trumpet performance and commercial, well back then it was a MIDI synthesis degree, and then after that he went to Cincinnati Conservatory and got his master's degree, and then decided he just wanted to live in this area, so he moved back. And that's around the time we decided, hey, let's grab onto him and make this group.
What are some of your experiences from traveling around the world and playing with the quintet, and what do you like about traveling and playing?
Well, I like traveling in general, and starting to like it less and less. It's getting to be more of a hassle, but I like taking music from this region, the Southern Appalachians, to different cultures. Probably the best trip we ever did was a 2-week tour of China. We played in 8 different cities on 8 consecutive nights, so it was a lot of traveling, but we got to meet lots of people, wealthy people, poor people. We were in cities and villages. We really got to see a lot of the country, and just to show them what Western music is, because in a culture like that, you know, they mostly listen to their own music. We're a lot more eclectic over here than they are. So it was interesting to see their reactions to our music and to share music that was written for us from composers in this region.
How do you think your performance from November 1st here at Western went for you?
For me, I thought it went well. You know, as a brass player, the difficult part is sometimes you just never know how your chops are going to be. You know, you could have a cut in your lip, you could have a canker sore, you could have played too much, you know, the few days leading up to it. And suddenly there you are ready to walk on stage, and you know it's not going to be a good night. You just don't have the strength you need. And but we're like gladiators. We have to go out on stage anyway, and we have to play. You know, you don't just walk out and say, I'm sorry, my chops aren't good, I'm not going to play tonight. You still have to go out and do that. And on that particular night, I felt my chops were great. Brass playing is a lot different than, say, playing a piano. You walk to a piano, you hit a key, boink, it's going to work every time. With brass, you just, sometimes changes of weather can affect you. What you eat affects you. You know, if you've had enough water or liquids, that affects you. There's so many variables. And so when you have a night where your chops feel good, boy, you got to enjoy it. And I had a lot of fun playing that night. And I felt all the members of the quintet were on that night. We all, I think, physically felt good and mentally good. So.
How difficult was it for you to get to where you are today, not only as a player, as an individual, but also with the quintet?
Well, the thing people don't see or realize is how much work goes in behind the scene. You know, it's you don't just walk out on stage and open some music and start playing. I mean, there's just dozens and dozens and dozens of hours of rehearsal. We rehearse an hour and 40 minutes twice a week. So, I mean, you know, over 3 hours a week we're rehearsing as a group so that we can fit all 5 parts together. But even behind that scene, we each are practicing every day. We warm up in the morning, do our daily routine, our rituals to get all our fundamentals right, and then we have other things to practice, orchestra music, solo music, and then also our quintet. So we spend a lot of time as individuals practicing before we can come together and practice. So it's a lot of work, and yet there's nothing else I would rather do. You know, most of the time it doesn't feel like it's work at all, and yet it is. People don't realize that musicians, even though it's art and it's fun and we enjoy what we're doing, it is work. It's just a different kind of work.
Throughout all the performances you've had with the quintet, what do you think was your favorite out of every single one?
I've had a lot of bizarre performances. Some of them in China where we're playing and there's kids running across the stage. One of them, they're like eating peanuts and stuff in the audience, and they got these hand clappers, and they're drinking beer, and they're talking, and we can hardly hear ourselves. So those are fun. those are fun performances, and even the one we did last spring here at Western, where we collaborated with the dance department. We did a whole program where it was choreographed by the dance department. That was one of my favorites. We did one where we put together movie scenes with music that a dear friend of mine had written. So we're playing the accompaniment to these scenes from Ben-Hur and Star Wars and Jaws and all this kind of stuff. That was a lot of fun too. They vary. I really look forward to playing with the group, and as I said, especially when the chops feel good, you just can't wait to go out and play, because these are 5 musicians that are like family. You know, we have our differences, but you know, if we're going to hang out one night, we're all free. We probably call each other to hang out. You know, it's a close-knit group of people. So Carnegie Hall, I don't feel I played my absolute best, but I played well, and that was a very interesting, you know, to say you've played at Carnegie Hall and to go through the whole process of preparing and actually walking out on stage at Carnegie Hall. That's one that will stick with me forever. But yeah, I've got dozens of favorite performances.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.